Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2-minute warning.
The show will start in 2 minutes. Please have your beer in hand and take your seat.
All right, let's do this. Oh, ho, ho. Welcome to Drone Brews. It's Wednesday. We've got a new beer in hand. It's a beautiful, beautiful week. We've got an awesome guest. I feel like I got a nose hair. I don't know. Probably should shave. Anyways, we've got an awesome guest tonight who's going to be talking about what he's doing for the drone community, and specifically one individual that was recently arrested for flying his drone on his own property. Pretty crazy stuff. We're going to be talking about it all tonight. So Ryan LaTourette, I don't know, I probably butchered that, but Ryan LaTourette's going to be joining us. He's out of Michigan. So pretty cool show. But like we always do, let's go ahead and jump into the type of beer we're drinking tonight. So what type of beer do we have? I feel like I need beer reveal music. So tonight is Big Storm Brewery. Stop looking at me. Come on. This is the Palm Bender. And it's according to them, it's cold as hail. Alrighty. So let's crack this thing open because this is the only place where you can drink and fly. Fuck yeah, let's do this. Oh, that's got some bite. Holy shit, that's got some bite. Oh, it's brewed in Tampa. This is brewed in Tampa. This is a fucking Tampa beer. I like it. I really just bought this beer because the can is so cool. I love the can. It's so tropical. All right, let's do this. Let's jump into the chat and greet our audience. We got Sam Burns, Scott LaRue. I know I saw Ready, Set, Drone floating around. You got Eddie Nunez, Genesee, Airworthy Tours, Uriah, the Tactical Traveler, Fly High, Wisconsin in the house. Quit fucking texting me, Billy Kyle. Arrested. Yes, they were arrested. Eddie Nunez, if I haven't already said that, I said it. We got Lon Denard and B-Man80. Great show tonight. I can't wait to get Ryan on here. We did a test. Yes, he was arrested. Ryan's going to tell us all about it. I don't want to steal Ryan's thunder. We're gonna let Ryan do all the explanation on that, because when he was telling me this story yesterday, I was aghast. I was actually shocked. So, and it sort of made me think like, holy crap, this could happen to almost any one of us. So pretty nuts. Exactly. You can drink and fly. So yes, we can have drinks at an airport. We are drinking. I am already 2 beers in. So this is, I don't know. You be the judge. This to me is like a beer and a half, maybe. I don't know. What's the alcoholic volume in this? Is it Dobo rated? 7%. It's just a little spiky. It's okay. Alrighty. So I did not stream last week to start off. I did not stream last week. I feel like I'm yelling. I didn't stream last week because I needed to take a little bit of a breather, and I'm glad I did, because it clears your thoughts, clears your mind to create better content. I know a lot of you guys are still curious about what happened to my Mavic Air 2. I will be talking about that very soon. I have been patiently waiting on DJI support to finish their evaluation, and to provide me with some results to talk to you guys about. So I am patiently waiting on them to finish that evaluation. And as soon as they tell me what's up, I will share that information with you. But my early prognosis is I had a right rear motor that seized on me. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you already know I went off on a whole rant about that, the whole situation. So there's that. But we'll talk more about that in a separate video because I don't want that to hijack everything we're going to be talking about with Ryan today. And then, I don't know, do I address it? I mean, I guess we'll address it. Sure. We're going to talk about it. So obviously there's been a lot of chatter over that video I posted with Drone U. They did issue an apology. They did issue an apology video for the video that they took down. So that was good. That's sort of a win, you know, when you have somebody apologizing. I put out like a little bit of a post on it, and I'm past it. And I want, you know, you guys to not hold any grudges, because I think, you know, reality is life is too short to hold grudges against people, and online content is not that serious, right? It's not that serious. So I don't want anybody to be personally attacking anybody, because, you know, the last thing you ever want something bad to happen and then think, well, did I say something that caused something bad to happen? You don't want that on your hands ever. So, you know, you just want to be kind. And like I said in my post, you know, my community specifically, we're bigger people than that. That's why I get to be the asshole, so you don't have to be. So yeah, you know, Mike says it was a weak apology. I agree. It was sort of impersonable, but what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? I mean, it's probably took a lot. But that's again, this is a prime example why if you say something, don't walk it back. Don't walk it back, because, you know, you got to sort of go down the rabbit hole you're on. But you know what? Maybe we'll do this. Maybe I will extend the offer. Maybe if he's out there lurking, Paul, you're watching, why don't you come on the show one night, have a beer with me? You drink. You're old enough to drink, obviously. Have a drink. I'm fucking drunk already. We do this though. We get drunk here. Have a beer and chat with me. You know, you can do that. Holy shit. Thank you very much, Kelly. Whoa. Doug, dude, what the hell, man? You're banned from doing that again. Thank you. Have a beer with me, Paul, and let's just chat, you know, because it's for the good of everybody. We've never met. We've come within feet of one another at shows and events. And maybe I never did my due diligence to walk up to you and put my hand out and say, hey, my name is Ken. I am Original Dobo. It's an odd thing to say, but if you watch my videos, maybe you knew I'm pretty awkward at trade shows. I don't like really walking up to people. I guess now shaking your hand wouldn't be a good thing with the whole deal going on. But anyways, come on the show one night. Let's have a beer. Let's chat. And maybe people will see a different side of you. People know I'm an asshole, and I don't make any apologies for that, because that's just me. So if you're one way or the other, just tell people who you are, what you are, and they're either going to accept you or not. Anyways, fuck it. That's all I have to say about that. All right. Damn you, Doug Bell, man. Doug Bell. Do I have a button for Doug Bell? Holy shit, Doug Bell. I think that was a slot machine, but God, Jesus, Doug, you didn't have to do that, dude. Anyways, that's my thing. That's it. I don't want to talk about that anymore, because I think enough's been said, and the reality is we just need to get back to focusing on the flight, the tutorials, and everything else good that goes into all of us content creators and the content we put out. We've got spin-ups coming up this year. It's going to be virtual. It's online. Kelly is putting links out on his channel. There's some early codes I heard if you're a member of the flight crew. So that's all well and good. I guess I'm going to have to, I don't know. I guess I'll scrap my landing pad commercial today. No, I'm just joking. I don't do landing pad commercials. What do you say we give Ryan LaTourette a call? I'm going to have him correct me when I get him on here, because I know I'm butchering his name pretty badly. He's on standby. Let me message him. You there? shouldn't type out loud. I do that though. We'll bring him on. I know he's on standby. So I'll wait for him to reply back because I don't want him to call me because I have to call him because then otherwise the audio goes to complete shit. Y'all know that already. Y'all. Chris Hope, thank you very much. And thank you. Yes, 27.5. Sam Burns, thank you. Thank you very much. Not necessary. Chris, thank you very much. I did not celebrate that, but we're going to celebrate that tonight. I have another one. Georgia Driller, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That is awesome of you guys. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I really do, guys. And that's not necessary. Oh, shit. By the way, we're doing a call-in tonight. I've got a number that you guys can call in. And so I figured, it's cool to do like, where you can super chats are stupid because I don't want you to spend money. I want you to be able to ask your question. And then sometimes like in the chat, I miss it. So I have this number. I've got this number. Shit, why'd I do that? Stop copying it. Damn it. So tonight, you're going to be able to call in and ask your questions. Here's the number. And you can call in as the show goes on and leave a voicemail, or you can send a text with your question. Moderators, make sure you circulate that number. Let me make sure. Yep, that's right. I want to make sure we got that. Is not a 900 number, by the way. But anyways, that's the number you can call, and that's going to go to me. And yeah, because it's got my name. So that's the number you can call if you have questions tonight. Fuck, why is it? This autofocus is just all sorts of batshit crazy tonight. There it is. So that's the number you call if you want to ask your questions and the whole shabil. You can don't send me dick pics. Don't send me that. Don't do that. If you hate me, that's fine. But then I'm gonna put it on Twitter. Just forewarning. Alrighty, there's that. We got beer money. We got Ryan. We're going to try to call him. I'm calling him. Let's see. Hopefully the audio doesn't go all sideways on us. We're calling Ryan. Come on, Ryan. Ryan? I think I got him.
That is me.
I don't see you.
Well.
Oh, there you are. Wow, you even got dressed up too.
Yeah.
How about that?
All right. I have my MSU memorabilia in the corner, so you all get to be Spartans today.
All right, let's do this. We're bringing you into the stream.
All right.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, let me fix my camera. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I'm pretty sure I butchered the living shit out of it.
You actually did a pretty good job. It is LaTourette.
LaTourette. All right, cool. So, Ryan, because a lot of the people on my channel, they probably don't know who you are. They're probably like, all right, who's this guy, Ryan? And give us the breakdown. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh my gosh. So I am the director of regulatory and policy affairs for the Great Lakes Drone Company, which is the largest drone company in the Midwest. I am also the special advisor for the drone labs of DXC Technologies, which is a Fortune 200 company right now, about to split into 5 different companies. So I spent my 20 years with them and just get to do that as a side bit, even though it's my full-time job. And then I as well have dealt with drones since 2012, 2013, somewhere in there, and get into the policy side. So my specialty is regulations, as well as things like courts and looking at particular cases that need to be brought to court and expand the hobby, expand the industry, promote the industry, make sure that people understand that drones are for good and there's a place for us to use them. So yesterday,
something was brought to my attention that, like, a lot of times, like when I hear a story, I'm just like, sort of, okay, bullshit. That didn't really happen. And then I heard it twice. I heard it once from Zach. He's like, your mind's going to be blown when you hear about the gentleman that was arrested, capturing footage of the riots. And when you told me the story yesterday, I was taken back. So why don't you go through Tell me what happened that led to this gentleman. Take us through the events that led up to this gentleman being arrested for flying his drone.
So the person is Benjamin Dodson, and Benjamin Dodson is a bar owner in Nashville.
Okay.
He decided to buy a drone. He's actually going out right now and getting his general aviation license. So he wants to be a manned pilot, but he has a drone, and he decided that he wanted to fly that drone and get some historic shots of the protests, the peaceful protests.
Sure.
And there had been, I should say, there had been multiple protest marches over the course of like 3 days. And some of those were quite large.
Sure.
10 to 17,000 is what I am told.
I've heard that.
And then this particular day was only about 3,000 people. So it wasn't like he was concerned about too much movement beyond the streets and having a concern of where to land, etc. So he decided to launch, and in doing so, he went over to the police officers and he said, "Hey, look, I'm just going to be flying my drone over here. I want you to know that I'm not going to be any trouble. I'm not causing trouble. I know the rules, and this is where I'm going to be." They were cool with it. So he went ahead, he launched from his property up over the top of his building and took a shot. He was probably about 300 feet away from the marchers. Beautiful aerial shot. Decided to get a little closer, continued to stay over the buildings, and was about 100 to 150 feet away from the protesters.
So he was never directly over them directly.
Never over the persons, and over the buildings instead.
Okay.
So as he was completing his flight, up came another officer, completely different officer, and said, "This is illegal. You need to bring it down." So he brought it down, and they proceeded to, basically, as soon as he landed, arrested him on the spot. And they arrested him for criminal trespass, flying too low. As if there is such a thing as flying too low.
So a officer, nobody affiliated with the FAA arrested this gentleman.
Yes, and they can do that. So
okay.
When we think about things, the FAA does have total jurisdiction, the sole jurisdiction over the airspace. But you as a person standing on the ground have a right, you are within the parameters of a local police officer to do some type of arrest based on a land use type of ordinance. So criminal trespass is a land use type of ordinance where they then said, we're going to get you.
Let me ask you a question. How do you trespass somebody that is flying from their property and your drone, your aerial device never touched someone else's property, lands back on your property specifically? How does that? Where do you see this going for this individual in court?
So this is one of the real big challenges, right? Is that when we talk about aerial trespass, it doesn't yet exist. It literally doesn't. So we have the ULC, which is the Uniform Law Committee, that has debated for probably the last 2.5, almost 3 years on creating language that they want to then put in front of Congress to say, let's have this be the case for aerial trespass. Now, they've never finalized that. They've argued on it over and over. They finally tabled it. I guess it was.
So Tennessee specifically doesn't have any specific law. They have no law that says there is a aerial trespass. So, So from your perspective, then do you believe that this specifically is going to go to court and a judge is going to look at all the facts and look at and I'm not trying to do anything to sway anything one way or the other, but when you look at everything and you explain it in plain English like you just had, it's sort of like, okay, this is a slam dunk for your client that has been wrongfully accused.
Right. And I do think that the judge is going to see this and go, you know what? No, there's no trespass here, and he'll throw it out. But we do have some challenge where this is all based upon a 1946 court case, and you may have heard of it, Cosby versus U.S.
Okay.
And in the Cosby case, what we had is a farmer who bought a piece of land.
I did hear this.
Had chickens on that and were raising it. And then the U.S. government comes along and makes an airstrip for bombers. Well, those bombers continue to launch day and night, 24 hours a day, over his property. And they fly as low as low as 83 feet. And the chickens die. He can't get any sleep. His wife can't get any sleep. So he finally sues and he wins. But
Okay.
he wins on a very narrow takings clause of the Constitution, which basically you think of eminent domain. So they were using his property as part of their airport. They were not compensating him for that. So that case then goes out and it said two things. One, where it previously been held that all airspace from the land on up had been the owners of the land, that there was part of their property.
Okay.
It threw that notion out and it said no. In today's modern airspace with airplanes, hot air balloons, etc., we cannot have the owner owning up to the heavens. So they threw that out and they said anything into the national airspace, right, is going to be open, public domain.
Okay.
But what they did not do is they did not specify where that began. So some people will think, oh, well, it begins at 83 feet because that's part of the testimony of the case. Well, no, they never ruled that. But they did say the owner owns up to the level of height that they can use that property. Now, for most people, that's going to be your tallest tree, 100, 150 feet, right? Or it could be you don't have any trees around. It's going to be your tallest building. You got a 2-story building. Okay, you got 30 feet. What we have to understand is at some point there is kind of a trespass in there, right?
Right.
If I'm going to fly below the treetops and sneak into somebody's yard and take a look, well, yeah, you don't want that at your property. The person that you're flying at doesn't want it at their property either. So that becomes the concern. Now, in this case, he's in a downtown environment. He's over the top of buildings. One, he owns one of the buildings down there. So you kind of go, well, wait a minute, where is the trespass? And I do think that's where the judge will go, you know what, there's nothing here. You can't build on top of the building without having additional permits, etc. So that owner is not harmed in any way. And I think that's where this will ultimately really reside.
Now, here's a question I have for you with all this, because, a lot of people have probably, maybe there's been protests in their area, their city, and they're like, you know what? I want to film or photograph one of these protests. Obviously, there's a lot of heat with law enforcement today, right? And
Yep.
There's just a lot of conflict going on. What can a pilot do to avoid a situation like that, to avoid a confrontation like this, to where the end result is you're going to have an agitated officer that may be super stressed for the week and they're going to hammer him down like that? What can you do to avoid something like that?
And that's the whole question here I believe that Benjamin Dodson did the exact right thing in going to the police and saying, hey, look, I just want to let you know, this is me. I'm not intending to harm anything. I'm going to stay out of your way. That he didn't have to do that, right? There was no legal requirement for him to do that. But in doing that, he was saying, look, I'm going to play by the rules. You don't have to worry about me. The protesters don't have to worry about me. I'm going to stay out of their way too. Let's just de-escalate, right? Now, at the same token, I think any pilot who's looking to fly at a protest, and I should say, I flew at one earlier this week too, you have to understand that the protests could grow in size in a heartbeat, right? You have to understand that the crowd can move erratically. And you have to take that into account, because if you have an emergency, you're going to need a place to land. If you have some type of situation come up where, you're getting too low, some protesters may go, you know what, that's a police drone.
Yeah, they're
I'm
gonna
going
hit.
to
They're
take
gonna
it
hit it
down.
out of the air.
Yeah. And then you may have the police go, oh, that's a protester's drone who's trying to figure out our tactics, and they may take it down. So you have all those risks, and you want to pre-plan and mitigate those risks prior to even launching.
Gotcha.
Um,
So have obviously. So I guess the moral of the story with that is have a plan beforehand
Absolutely.
before you take off, obviously, and understand that so many variables can happen when you're filming something like this. But this is just now. I thought that this incident was an exception. Is an exception. I made that assumption, and shame on me for doing that, because you said that this is just one of a dozen cases where a pilot was arrested for just merely flying his drone or her drone, and they did nothing wrong.
Right.
They did nothing wrong.
I've got a situation right now with James Benson in Louisiana, who flew his brand new Inspire 1 from his property. He wanted to test it out, so he got it up in the sky. And of course, if you're going to test it out, you're going to put it at some speed, right? So he goes and flies out a quarter mile or so and turns it around and flies back at 40 plus miles an hour. His flight logs show that he was at 350 to 400 feet the entire time. And yet, he just happened to maybe nick across to the property owner next door. The property owner next door happened to be a police officer. Didn't take too kindly to his incursion on his property and went over and had words. 3 days later or so, that police officer had engaged another one of the officers, and Mr. Benson was arrested and charged with trespassing. It actually went to court. It was in court back in, I want to say it was January or February.
Okay.
And because of COVID, we're still waiting on the decision to come through, and that's supposed to happen on the 17th of this month. And all bets are off. I mean, in court, they really laid things on this guy that you would just go, what the hell are you guys doing? And I think it's all because this police officer really wanted to get at his neighbor. And
that's just
perfectly legal flight.
That's just shitty. But I guess something I don't think of, and as none of us really do as we take off and fly our drones, that all it takes is one person to piss the wrong person off, and you're screwed, and nothing you're going to do is going to get you out of that situation. Fortunately, I still just can't really wrap my mind around any of that at all. And like you said that's just one of a dozen cases in which somebody has been arrested over these situations.
Yeah. Let me share my favorite story,
Okay.
right? And that's the story of me. So like I said, I've been flying since probably 2012, 2013. And one of the places that I like to fly quite often is down at the state capitol in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
As I would do that, the Michigan State Police would come out, and they are, very curious. Hey, what's this? We've never seen this before. Well, it's a drone. Let me show you how it works. So not only would I get the flight in and get some shots, but I would teach the Michigan State police officers about the drones, about the regulations with drones, and I would even let them fly it, right?
Nice.
So we would go, several times a week and have a good time down there. There's one time, and this is probably a couple years back, I went down to fly again. Now, the police office, the city police office is directly across from the state capitol. As soon as I got my bird up in the sky, out comes a rookie officer.
Shit.
Get that thing down now. You can't fly here. It's illegal. No, it isn't. Well, that pissed him off. So I said, okay, I will bring it down. Well, I wasn't bringing it down fast enough for him. And so he continued to yell and berate me. And as I got down at, now I'm flying an Inspire at this point, I said, get the hell away from me. I need 25 feet so I can bring this down safely. That threw him over the edge.
Oh, shit.
So he said, I'm calling the Michigan State Police. I said, you do that. So he did. He called the Michigan State Police on his walkie-talkie radio, whatever, and lo and behold, here comes a Michigan State Police car driving the wrong way down a one-way street on Capitol Avenue, coming screaming to a halt right in front of us. This officer had a shit-eating grin on his face, ear to ear. And as that car came to a stop, the officer came out and said, Ryan, what you doing? Do I get to fly tonight too? And I thought, yeah, this is great. So here I was getting to be the professor watching his student train a newcomer to the hobby. And so, yeah, if I had not had that situation with the Michigan State Police, I probably would have been under arrest or ticketed or something of that nature.
Sure.
Absolutely.
But that's the thing is, I think education when it comes to drones is really important. That the biggest stigma with them is people are afraid of drones, right? They think they're scary and sterile. And I think that's my biggest problem when I go to these commercial events and I'm walking around the floor. Everybody is very uptight. They're all uptight at these commercial events. They're not fun. And it's like, hey, listen, you want people to use your product, but the people around your product are afraid of drones. They don't understand drones. You're not making it enticing for people that are bystanders to understand it. You're not making it easy to operate these units because it's very sterile. The commercial industry when it comes to drones, honestly, I'm gonna be completely real. I hate the commercial UAV shows because it's just a bunch of stuck up people. They're just stuck up and they're like, all touting, what they have to offer, but they're very standoffish. I'm not with that because that's the type of attitude that turns people off. What you did, you educated, people had no idea anything about a drone, and you may have even created fans out of it because they were genuinely excited about that. But there's a lot of law enforcement offices that they don't know. They're clueless. I'm pretty lucky that here in Hernando and Pasco and Tampa, these guys know who we are. We work with them and they are cool and they have their own drone program. So they're really well aware of, the regulations and they don't fuss with us at all. Like at all. They're really cool about it. But I can't say the same, obviously, for other places. So it sort of sucks to hear some of these stories that, you've told me specifically with some of these officers. I think there needs to be training, obviously maybe not right now because there's a lot of other shit going on, but when
they have their hands full,
they got their hands full, but when the dust settles, I think that they need to be trained on that because, if you think about it, you have a protest or something going on. Why put officers on the ground if nothing's happening that is of a criminal intent, right?
Yep.
Right. Let a drone monitor the crowd. Hey, if life's good, nobody's breaking the law, so be it. Keep your men out of there. Let them protest peacefully and carry on. And let an autonomous creature do your heavy lifting and keep people out of harm's way. And obviously it avoids conflict because a machine is only going to do what a machine knows how to do, which is follow a protocol and procedure. And it takes the human element out of the equation. That's what I think. But what do I know? I'm just a fucking YouTuber, right?
Well, and honestly, I know of several police departments that did use drones for the protests, and that's exactly what they were doing, just keeping an eye out on things, seeing what's happening. And for the most part, yeah, they didn't find anything. There's been a fair number of peaceful demonstrations, but yeah, it's good to have eyes in the sky and just to see something.
Yeah, exactly. And I think drones are getting so smart right now. When it comes to crowd control, you've got some drones that can measure the square footage of a protest even and tell you, give you a rough body count of how many people are exactly there. I think it's safer than having news choppers. I rather have, a drone than a news chopper potentially flying over. I think that's, slightly less intrusive and possibly even safer, but that's just me. But yeah, that's good to hear. So what can anybody do to help the gentleman that is going through, what can we do to show support for the gentleman that was arrested in Nashville? Because I feel like that needs enough of attention so, it doesn't get to an outcome that is less than desirable.
So one of the things that, I've made a call for action to happen is for drone operators around the country, around the world, in fact, to go ahead and ping two different people.
Okay.
One is the police chief. The police chief is Steve Anderson of Nashville Metro.
Okay.
And I can paste his name in the chat. And
please do that. Please do that.
It's engaging him. One, it's an education to say, hey, look, drones are good, right? We want to express that fully, but we also want to say there are chances that people can use drones, especially around protests, and do so quite legally. There was no TFR. It was Class G airspace. He was flying over buildings, which assures some measure of safety. And just that education to tell him there should have been no arrest.
Gotcha.
So that will help in terms of going forward, that maybe there's not another arrest from his department.
Right.
The next person is the DA. Now, in this case, the DA is Glenn Funk. He has assigned the process to David Jones. And sorry, I'm looking at my other screen to make sure I have information. But David Jones is the district attorney that's assigned to look at all of the arrests from the protests, and he'll go through and determine which things he's going to actually prosecute.
Gotcha.
So we're trying to reach out to him to, again, say, hey, wait a minute, this was a legally flown drone, registered, and get all those facts in front of him such that he can then make the decision, this was probably a stupid arrest, and toss it out of court such that we don't have to go through the process. So
I think we lost Ryan. Ryan, your Skype must be acting up here. I'll give Ryan a chance to buffer. Goddamn Skype. Skype is the worst. All right, so I'll give Ryan a second to buffer because he froze. He froze on me. You froze on me, buddy.
No.
I mean, it was an awkward position. I thought you fell asleep for a second. Let me bring you back.
No.
Let me bring you back in here.
Okay.
So, ping the police chief, DA, obviously, to get them alerted to, hey, you guys screwed up. Another thing that you were doing is you guys are waffling an 8K drone, right?
And that's the other big one. So huge kudos to DroneWorks. Now, DroneWorks is just a fantastic company. I've worked with Zach for a long time. I've ordered
all. Are you sure you're talking about the right DroneWorks? You're talking about the right Zach?
I hope so.
Ah, okay. I'm just making sure we're talking about the same Zach here. I know a Zach.
Yeah, I know you do. So I know your joke there. No, but yeah, so he's gonna waffle off an 8K
to help with his legal fees.
And yes, to help with the legal fees. And that's huge because we do anticipate that those legal fees are going to rack up. And if this has to go to court, it's going to be expensive. So the more we can do, the better.
All right. So obviously the biggest thing that people can do right now is ping those people and please, by all means, put that in the chat so people can start pinging and messaging them, urging them to reconsider the charges that they levied against this gentleman. And then obviously the other thing that we have, there is a Facebook Facebook group that we have. It's called Super Drone Waffles USA. It's a private group. There's 533 members in that group, and that's where they're going to be. I thought it was a raffle. What is a waffle, Ryan? Is this like a Michigan term or?
Oh, I think that's a Zach term.
Waffle. Like he realizes it's raffle, right? But he says, are you not allowed to have a raffle on Facebook?
I do think there's a difference. So a raffle is typically you're buying a ticket and you can sell as many tickets as you want. And I think a waffle is a limited number of tickets.
Okay, so a waffle's
limited. So you get higher. Yeah.
I just learned something really new today. we've got a voicemail here. Let's play this voicemail. I'm almost afraid to do this, but let's see.
Can I borrow $10?
Fucking. All right, no, not borrowing $10. Let's let's look at the next one. So let's see. Oh, here's a good one actually, Ryan. Somebody asked, "What's our opinion on the new Parrot and Nafi possibly coming?" So Parrot has been. Have you seen that? They're sort of targeting DJI directly, talking about not trusting Chinese drones. Have you seen anything to do with that?
I've seen a lot of stuff to do with that.
What's your opinion on that? Because I know a lot of you guys, you're sort of like on the skirts of all that, but you have some ideas. So what do you think Parrot's up to with that? What's their target there?
Well, so if that were a question directed to me, right, my stance is I wouldn't buy a Parrot drone because they're toys. If you've ever...
Not wrong there.
Yeah, I mean, Parrots love to self-destruct. That's one piece. They are really, really cheaply made. Honestly, I just don't think that they're anything other than toys. Okay. And I would place that in the Anafi in the same. Now that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
As far as the DJI bit, I fly a lot of DJI drones, so I've got a couple Inspires and Mavics and etc. Right? The idea that somebody is taking my data over to China kind of has me going, where did you get that idea? I operate on a Wi-Fi only iPad. That iPad doesn't connect to the internet unless I want it to.
Okay.
And it typically doesn't anyway. And if I'm pulling the shots, I'm putting them on my personal computer, and I can have that personal computer be completely internet free too. So the idea that somebody's stealing my data to, have some national security problem, whatever.
It's just not something that you would really worry yourself with.
No.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. So got a missed call here. So let's see. We have somebody did send me a dick pic. They sent a dick pic.
Oh, okay.
It's a dick pic. He did leave a voicemail. Let's see who this is.
Yo tengo la gata en mi bolsilla. Muy grande. Ay, 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 ay.
I'm gonna go with that's fucking Zach. That's fucking Zach. He's such an asshole. So, all right. So, thank you for the dick pic, Zach. Dumbass. So as far as DJI taking data, it's not. I think that's a little far fetched, to be honest. I mean, like, what really do they have to gain? A lot of these applications too that are being created on Android and iOS specifically have to go through a process of being vetted by the App Store, and they monitor to see where that information is going specifically. So, for me, I personally never worried about it because, one, you can easily fly with no internet connection, right?
Right.
And two, you could easily track back information. And there's been private firms investigate DJI specifically for this, and nobody has found any foul play.
Right.
There's nobody.
And let's look at it too from the standpoint of the current level of nationalism that we have as well,
right,
where there's this idea that anything out of China is bad. Sure. Well, when you look at drones, everything comes out of China, with the exception of Parrot, who's out of France. So are the politicians beating their chest to say, hey, we need a larger stake in this drone industry bit with a manufacturer, knowing that DJI has 80% of the marketplace? Right. Is this them banging their chest to try to get some U.S. manufacturers to stand up and build a drone? Maybe. Are they going to be able to do it in a cost-effective manner to really compete? We haven't seen that yet, right?
Right, exactly. And we don't have an American manufacturer at this point that can really go toe to toe essentially we have American manufacturer, but they make one drone and it serves really one type of audience specifically. And there really isn't. It seems like,
and it uses Chinese parts.
True. This is true. Exactly. So, I mean, at some point, unless if you buy something truly homegrown, which there are American drone companies, but they serve a commercial purpose, from a hobbyist perspective to a semi-professional perspective, we really don't have anything that is, homegrown, I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So.
And when we're talking those commercial spaces, right? So let's say you get a Ariane Sky Ranger. So an Ariane Sky Ranger has the same capabilities as a Inspire 1, with the exception that it has a 30 by zoom lens.
Okay.
Now the cost, what an Inspire 1 back in the day would have cost you, $3,000?
Yeah.
Right. And a Ariane Sky Ranger, $150,000. So now you have to ask, as a government, do you want, or as a taxpayer, do you want your government to spend $3,000 or $150,000 to do the same thing? Oh,
it's true, and I think ultimately it has to do with there's obviously a lot of politics at play, more so now than ever, and I won't go down that rabbit hole here. Obviously, terrible timing to do so,
right.
But Ryan, I thank you for coming on the show tonight, dropping some knowledge. It sounds like you are a plethora of knowledge. How can people connect with you if they have questions on regulations? Are you in any of the Facebook groups? Is there any way for people, because there may be people that have, questions or concerns. How do they reach you?
Yep, absolutely. So I am in dozens and dozens of Facebook groups. I admin probably a dozen or so of Facebook groups. A couple of the ones that I would strongly suggest, for newcomers into the hobby, I do a one called Newbies to Drones.
Nice.
You're always welcome to come into that. The drone community is one sponsored by DroneWorks. Zach is one of the
he dabbles in everything.
There.
He drives me absolutely nuts. It's like, I always tell him, I said, you got your dick in everything. Just stop it.
There you go. In terms of rules specifically, we have the UAV legal news and discussion group. Where we do get, any of the new incoming laws. We look at those, we try to interpret them, get the best information out to everybody. Remote ID was a great example of that, where, people really needed to understand, what does this proposal actually do? What's it asking for? And so that generated a lot of discussion. So yeah, you can join any of those groups and come in. And I'd love to answer questions.
So what I will do is I'll have Ryan message me a bunch of the groups that he's in with links. And then when the show is over, you can check the show notes. And that is where I'll have all those links. So if you want to check them out and join, ask your questions. I mean, Facebook's a great resource. Again, you've got YouTube, you got Facebook. I'm a big proponent of avoiding forums. I feel like Facebook is a better way to communicate and get information across, but that's just me. Anyways, Ryan, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we waited till this week so we could talk about that situation, because hopefully it brings some light, and I hope the audience does go ahead and message those people. So thank you so much, man. We'll be talking soon.
Thank you.
You got it, man. Talk to you later.
We'll see you.
What a great guy. So that was an awesome conversation. I really appreciate Ryan coming on the show because he's fuck you, Cigar Nation. What did I tell you about that shit? You say his name and he appears. It's like goddamn Candyman. Don't say his name again like that. Don't ever say that name. All right, at this point we are slurring words. I don't know if you guys caught it, but midway through the interview, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to open up another one. We're just going to go with the Palm Bender. And, man, I'm just digging this beer. God bless America, because this drone, I'm looking at it. It's a beer. Clearly it's beer. I'm like, this drone is amazing. No, this beer is so good. You don't know what you're missing right now. So we did get some more voicemails in Wish Oh, we got another voicemail. Let's play it. Let's play this voicemail. I don't know. Can you guys hear these voicemails?
Hey, Ken, it's Kelly at Ready Set Drone. Just wanted to say hello. Was hoping to catch you live. But, man, this is amazing. Ryan's a great guest. Really good show tonight. And I kind of agree. I think you guys are saying this, but this is my opinion, is if the Chinese want to see what I'm doing in my backyard, well, that's kind of scary for them. So, you know what I mean? It's like, why is this a thing? Totally agree with your tweet earlier about we should all just kind of move on to the Drone U thing and look at bigger and better things. And I'm looking forward to having you as a speaker at Spin Up 2020. So take care.
All right. Thank you, Kelly, for the voicemail. I really appreciate that. So I will be speaking at Spin Up 2020. I'm undecided so they're not doing a live Spin Up this year. They're doing it virtual. Ken Herron and Sean Oz are going to be in studio with Kelly. And I'm sort of thinking maybe I just go to Austin and be there live because it would be easier to produce content. And also it's an opportunity to hang out with Ken, Sean, and Kelly all at once. So I'm thinking I just go to Austin and film directly there. But yeah, as far as, I've never, ever once in a day had a worry about the Chinese spying on me at all. I think, the bigger fear when we talk about spying and, things like that is if we're all on Facebook and all of a sudden you're looking for something online. Like I was looking for, I'm not going to lie. This is sort of awkward, but like if you ever type something into Google search and then all of a sudden it appears on Facebook, it's a little weird. Like, I don't know, like if you search for, I don't know, midget porn, and then all of a sudden it appears on Facebook. Like I just said that now in your feeds, it's going to be nothing but midget porn. You're welcome. Because that can happen. I'm going to do another shot. But sometimes that can happen. And I don't know. Son of a bitch. Let's see. I got another voicemail here. I like that. Not that voicemail. What's this voicemail? Let's listen to this one. Oh, that's the one. He's wanted to borrow $10. Not going to happen. No $10. Types, Billy owns Ken. The fuck, guys? I turn my back for 1 minute and it's just Billy whatever. It's Billy whatever. Oh, you guys are something else. Billy whatever. Alrighty. Anyways, I digress. So great show tonight. Once again, big thank you to Ryan for coming on. Had that momentary buzz association. So next week, I am searching for guests. I think we've got the audio situation with having guests on the show. So who do you think should be on the show next week? Who should we have on Drone Brews Live? Obviously, Ryan did not drink. He did not drink. So we're gonna have to hold that to him. Son of a bitch. All right. Here's the deal. We're gonna chug these because every time somebody says Billy, we're just gonna chug something again. You guys are like, he's not gonna do it. No. Good Lord. What do you want me to do? Oh. And then we just do like, what do you do? Like they do in that show. Thank you to all the people who super chatted. You guys did not have to do that. I mean, not at all. Doug Bell, you did not have to do that. All the guys who did, as I scroll through this chat, should not have had. You don't do that. Jesus Christ. I mean, demography now, we don't say that word. We don't say that word here. We're not saying that word. We don't say it. That's if you're happy and you know it. You don't say that, demography. Okay? Fuck you. We don't say that. I believe in equality. Good show. It's a good week. We're going to get back to making some videos. This week. Production ramps up. We've got shipments of Evo 2s in-house ready to go out to their new rightful owners, and new shipments of the Mavic Air 2 in-house. And I did get a Mavic Air 2. I've got another Mavic Air 2. I'm going to promise you, whatever the fuck that is, it's a half fast cross. I'm feeling good. I'm not going to crash this one. Third time. Is this the third one? Yes, this is the third Mavic Air 2 I've had. I'm not going to crash this one. It's not going to crash. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. We're not going to crash this drone. I've had some serious bad luck, but I still love the little thing. It's still a great drone. And if I could just keep it in the air and not on the ground, I think that'll be good. I believe rugged bundles did come in. I believe they did. They did come in. Oh, wait, I didn't check the call-in number. I love this. This thing is amazing. I got another voicemail. I love this. This is great. Oh, here we go. Let's see what this voicemail is. It's always a surprise when you get voicemails.
Evo 2 recently, and I like the drone.
Hang on a second. Let's play this back. Thank you, Half Chrome.
I bought a Autel Evo 2 recently, and I like the drone. And I was kind of curious as far as, do you think Autel's gonna stay the course in trying to compete against DJI? And also, with all the firmware, do you think they're going to continue to improve on those things? And do you see another area in which the Evo is going to take? I see the dual as being something very, very, very good for the industry. But I was wondering, do you see the Evo being taken to another level?
Okay. So those are all valid questions. Do I think the Evo is still going to compete with DJI? The caller asked, yeah, absolutely. That's obviously their goal. He also asked about whether or not the firmware is going to continue to improve. And yes, one of the nice things with Autel that they do quite frequently is the fact that they are always listening to their end users, and they're always improving it. I mean, that's one of the nice things about it. I've seen several firmware improvements just recently for things that I've suggested and other users have seen and suggested. So one of the big things that they are working on fixing is the fact that the 422 10-bit is not functional right now. So they're aware of that, and they're going to be making those changes so that way the 10-bit color codec is available on the Evo 2. So I think we're going to see great things out of that drone. I think it's just one of those things you gotta. Is this phone dead? The fuck's this dead? You got to just give them time. Any type of firmware, any type of drone or product, you just got to give it time. Unfortunately. So there we go. So I'll do it one more time. We'll do it one more time. I'll see. A call-in number is there. We may take a phone call live. I don't know. It's always one of those things where you're like, oh, do you do it? You don't know who you're going to get. You just never know. You never know. I don't know why it's not ringing specifically. Is it because I'm muted? What's going on here? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll take one or two more calls in on the call-in number. Next week, I'll actually have it where it displays on the screen. I think that'll be pretty dope. We'll get that to display on the screen, and that'll be a mess, especially with people texting in their dick pics, because then it'll all show there. So that'll be, we'll get demonetized and banned and all that good stuff. Let's finish up these beers. Hopefully everybody's had a great show. I hope Autel can get their logistics problem solved. Tech, you aren't kidding, man. Autel does have a logistics problem, and hopefully, it's going to take them expanding. I don't think they anticipated the demand that they created. So, yep, they did not anticipate that. Son of a bitch. They did not. Autel's got some great stuff as far as cameras coming. Yeah. Wild and Donkey. Wild and Donkey, I have to ask you, who are you? You leave the most random comments I've ever read in my entire life. Like, your comments are just so far out there, man. It's like, whoa, who are you? I mean, I don't care. All right, here it is. UAS Policy just commented. Here it is. If you want to be in part of the waffle, what the hell is a waffle? Oh, I got another voicemail. Is this a voicemail? What we got here? Oh, that's the same voicemail. I'm all sorts of jacked up here. Sunrise Media, thank you very much. I was put in timeout. I mentioned Ken Herron. You can mention Ken. I had a great conversation with Mr. Herron the other night. He called me on the phone, and I thought that was really cool. So I thank him for that. This phone is all sorts of goofy lately. Maybe what I should do is, should I just reboot it? I mean, it just, sometimes it gets the calls, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, what the fuck's going on here? I don't understand. I don't understand. Waffles. Fly High, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Get OJ on the show instead of a helicopter following White House Broncos. Okay. Well, yeah, OJ, I mean, that's fine. We can get OJ on the show. John, what do you mean they have engineering problems too? What's going on with that? Elaborate that, please. What do you mean, Johnny? Engineering problems, how so?
John? John.
Son of a bitch. I want Waffle House. Waffle House makes the best food. All right. So last week we tried to crush a beer can on our head. This is a bigger can. Do we try to crush this can on our head this week? That's my answer. That's my question. Do we try to crush this can on our head? Oh, we got some voicemails here. Let's see. What do we got?
Hey, Ken. I was wondering if you think Autel is either going to release like a more budget version of the Evo 2 with like a lesser camera, like a less expensive one, where you could eventually upgrade to like the Pro, since they're all interchangeable gimbals.
Okay.
And that's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
I wanted to know what you thought about that, because I feel like that would bring them more competition, because the Evo 2 8K and the Pro are so expensive. In order to take out sales from DJI, they need to get cheaper stuff out there. And then, I mean, the Evo 1 was fairly priced, and it does pretty well. I have one, I love that. And I would buy an Evo 2 if they made a cheaper version, and then just upgrade to the Pro.
Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb here. I bet you I know who this is. And if I'm right, you can comment in the chat. I think this is Rocco. If this is Rocco, you let me know. Rocco, do I think that Autel will make a cheaper version of the Evo? I think inevitably, once they get their logistics problems taken care of, I think they will. From a budget perspective, most people don't want to spend over $1,000 on uncertainty, right? Right? Most people don't want to spend over $1,000. If they spend over $1,000, there's a lot of uncertainty in the industry. So I would say I could see them doing it, but it won't be right now. I think they would have to be pushed to do that. And I think it depends on how well the Evo 2 8K or the Evo 2 Pro actually perform in their sales. Okay. So that was that one. We got another voicemail here. I don't know why these things are not ringing, but we got another voicemail. Let's see who this is.
Ken, it's Jack. I want to know if you're going to smash another beer can on your head.
Jack, yes, we're going to do it, dude. Fuck yeah, we're going to do it. Let's empty this out. Jack wants to know if we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Bless it anyways. Bless it anyways. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well. Sometimes, I don't really think things through. And I don't really apologize for things either. You keep working on things, and then you keep screwing things up, and then this happens. It's fine. It's fine. So Metro says, first couple of flights on the new Evo 2 Pro had a warning popping up on the screen that says aircraft height restricted area. Please fly carefully. So I have had those prompts myself, and the prompt just keeps coming over and over and over again. I had brought that up to them. Mike, Navy Pelosi could crush it better. Who the fuck is Navy Pelosi? Elaborate, Michael. Is this my pajama shirt? No, this is my barbecue shirt. Metro, as to your question, they are looking at removing persistent notifications. I've got a mark right there, though. They are removing persistent notifications. Oh, Nancy, Francis. Nancy couldn't crush anything but spirits and broken dreams. Spirits and broken dreams. It's the only thing she's good for crushing. That's it. Yes, but as DroneWorks Pro has alluded to, you can change the altitude, but it depends on the area that you are in. If you are near an airport, you will get a warning prompt. It won't stop you from flying, but it will give you a warning prompt. I digress. We still got some beer left. We're just going to kill this beer and then we'll just call it. You know what I mean? We're just going to call it. Bless it anyways. We are going to kill this beer here. Hopefully you guys are drinking too. If you guys are drinking, drop me what beer you're drinking in the comments. Oh, asshat, it's Nancy. Mike, I appreciate your tenacity. I appreciate your tenacity, you fuckbag. Listen, Mike, if you don't already understand this is the dick's last resort. This is the dick's last resort of freaking drone channels. You pay for bad service, okay? That's what you get here. You get bad service. You get that. You know what you expect at the door. This is the dick's last resort, okay? All right? And it's resort, I know that, but it's stretched, okay? It's stretched because woo, we're not driving, right? But, that's what you pay for here. And I make no apologies, and there's no apologies here. I picked the wrong time to quit drinking beer. You know what, man? I was on a diet up until today, but now I am going to diet. Right? We're just, my thing is, like, I love to have a good drink on a Wednesday because Wednesday is the best day of the week. The best day of the week. Why is it the best day of the week? Because you're like in the middle of the week, right? And the week's not over, right? The week's not over. And you're like, yes, the week is not over. The week is not over. And you still have time in the week. But then you get to Friday and you're like, yes, the week's over. But there's still time in the week because there's Saturday and then Sunday starts a new week. So as long as you have time, the week is not over. And as long as the week is not over, you're still alive. I mean, hey, genius, it's Mr. Masshole. I'm going to have a sip of this, Mike, and then I'm going to respond to you. You fucking schmuck bag. Here we go. Mike, I am a genius. And fuck you. On my channel, I say what I want. So fuck you, Mike. Was it Mike Bursch? Fuck you. Okay? Genius. You're goddamn right I'm a genius, Mike. Because you're here watching a guy drink beer, talk about drones. Who's a genius now, Mike? Fuck you, douchebag. Schmuckbag. Put you in a timeout next time. You mouth off like that in my chat. Mouth off again, masshole. Mouth off again. I'll bring my popsicle ass. Oh, shit. I can't even get the words out of my mouth. It's so stupid. Because I'm wearing the shirt. Like, I'm like, why? Why would I do that? Sometimes you just got to have a good time. You just got to have a good time. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, serious moment. What is the deal in this Skyward Executive Roundtable? Mike, serious. I don't know, Mike. I don't know, Mike. I wish I knew, Mike. You got to ask me questions like that. You got to ask me serious questions at the beginning of the show. If you wait till the end of the show, Mike, it's open table. You know what I mean? It's okay, Cupcake, bring it on. I like this, Mike Bursch. I like you. You're my cup of tea, my friend. You can stay. You can stay. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed the show. We are celebrating because as of right now, 27,500 degenerate drone pilots that follow the rules semi-accordingly and have minimal respect for authority. Be proud. Be proud. Be proud. Rumor is Billy Kyle has the V-copter. I can see that. I can see him having the V-copter secretly. He seems like a two prop type. Oh, stop it. Mel, we're going to have another beer on that. We're going to have another beer. We're going to drink it off, man. So I just got a really crazy email. I haven't even had a moment to digest it. Can we talk drones and drink beer 2 nights in a row, Jack? I don't know, man. I don't know. That may be a lot. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll gladly show up to that live stream with a beer in hand. With a beer in hand. Wait a second. What do we got? We got a voicemail here? We got a voicemail? We got another voicemail. Don't ignore my question, Dick. What is the moisture? What? Who is this fucker? I got to call this guy. We're going to call this. Thank you, B-Mac. Let's call this guy. Who is this? Yeah, let's call him. We're calling him. He just asked me not to ignore his dick pic. Come on, answer the phone. I'm calling you. Okay. Calling you. All right. You're not going to answer the phone. Hey. Hey. Who is this? Oh, you hung up. You hung up. They hung up. They hung up. Well, they'll see that here in a second, 7% later. If you leave a voicemail, you bet your bottom dollar I will call you back. Yeah. You called me. You called me. I'm calling you back. Do the self-righteousness thing of answering the phone. I can hear you watching my show in the background. I can hear you. I could hear them. They were there. I could hear them. Yeah, Johnny boy, we're okay, my friend. We're okay. Oh, we got a missed call. We're calling them back. They called me. I called them. I'm calling them. Playing phone tag here now. Now we're calling them back. Calling them back. We are a legion. Hello. You're on the air. Who is this?
What up, bitch? Who this?
No. I called you. You called me. I'm calling you back. Huh? Pendejo. Hello. All right. Fuck this guy. Pendejo. I only know the bad Spanish words. It's fine. It's fine. All right. There it is. There it is. That's the show. That's the show. You don't want to talk. You don't want to talk. He wants to call. You don't want to talk. All right. That's it. That's it. You know who I should call? You know who I should call? I'm going to call this person. I'm going to call this person. I'm going to call them. We're going to call this person. We're going to call them. Now this is where the show just goes sideways, guys. The show is going sideways. It's going sideways. Hello.
Aren't you online?
Yeah.
Oh, it must be a delay.
Oh, okay. Is this Lon Denard?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man. I'm just giving you a call. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you.
Oh, shucks. Is this going to be on the screen here in a second?
It's probably going to be on the screen, and then you'll get to hear yourself talking. But I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate
You're looking at me right now, too. It's so funny.
I am. I'm looking right at you, and you're, right now we're making eye contact. It's like googly eyes, Lon. Googly eyes. But I just want to give you a call, tell you how much I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, thanks, buddy. I love you too, man. I love you.
All right.
Too, man.
Fist bump.
Bumps.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, later, bro.
Oh, fucking Lon Denard. He's a good guy. Lon actually is one of the few people with my personal number. I will talk to Lon all the time. He's one of the first peoples I will call when I screw up royally. When I screw up royally, I'm on the phone with Lon. I'm like, dude, you're not going to believe this, because it's cool to be able to talk to somebody who knows sort of like what you went through. And I'm like, dude, I destroyed the first person I called after I wrecked the Mavic Air 2. The first time was Lon. The second time I wrecked the Mavic Air 2, the first person I called was Lon, because I know he gets it. So he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I think we should call one more person. Should we call one more person? I think we should call one more person. We'll call one more person. Who do we call? Who do we call? Who else? There's a couple of people that actually I've given out my personal number to. I think we'll call one more person. Nah, we won't. We'll see. We'll save it. We'll save it. All right. We've expended. No, I'm not going to call Billy. We're not going to call Billy. You guys have said his name 25 times in the chat. I'm going to have to pay him royalty for that name. We're going to have to pay. I'm not calling Zach because he's a loose cannon. He's a loose cannon, man. Zach is a loose cannon. We don't know what he's going to say. I'm not calling Billy. We called Lon. Lon is free waffles. All right. You know what? Fuck you, Mel. You want to talk some shit, Mel? Let's see. Is he answering? He usually answers.
What the hell are you doing?
Is this 400 AGL?
Hello.
Hey, listen.
Dono.
The bottom line is this, Mel. We've gotten to the bottom of the show. It's the bottom of the ninth here. We're almost out of this beer can. I figure, you know what? Let's, for the hell of it, just for the fun of it, we're just going to we'll call some people, right? We'll call some people. But I wanted to let you know, Mel, I appreciate you and I appreciate your guidance all the time, because I know when I have rules or regulations or I'm thinking about doing something stupid, I usually run it by people, and you're one of those people I run it by, and you always either A, talk me off the ledge, or say, you know what, I think you're going to be okay, send it. So well, I appreciate that.
You know my logo, #fly legal, #fly safe, #fly smart, right?
I did. That's a lot of hashtags. I can't tattoo them all on me, so we'll just only one. We'll maybe fly safe.
Well, I'm glad I made the bottom of the barrel.
Well, you know what? This is the bottom of the ninth, man. The bottom of the ninth. You were there. Here's the deal. As long as you made somewhere on the bottom, you're not at the top, or you're not at the middle. You're at the bottom. The bottom is where it's at, man. This is
yeah, because everything else, you're holding everything else up if you're on the bottom.
Exactly. And you know what the reality is that the bottom of the stream is what people come to see. The guys who stay for the first half of the stream, they get like, the PG-13 type of shit. They stay to the end of the stream. And yeah, you know what I mean? It's like right now it's like fuck full send. So Mel, I just wanted to say thank you, man. I really do appreciate you.
Well, same to you, Ken.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Keep up the good work.
All righty. Thanks, man.
See ya.
All right, I'm going to call my wife now. I want to tell her how much I appreciate her. This one's going to go sideways. This one's going to go sideways really quick. Check this out. There we go. Here we go. Watch how pissed she gets. She's going to get so pissed. She won't even answer.
What?
Hey, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you.
Okay.
All right? I want you to know that I appreciate you letting me do these live streams and consuming time to do YouTube.
Where are you?
I'm in my studio.
Why are you calling me?
Because I love you.
Okay.
Okay? You're on the air.
Right.
You're on the air with Original Dobo.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, well, I appreciate you.
All right.
You're less chatty than Lon, okay? Lon gave me more conversation than this, okay? We'll talk about this.
You got nothing. You got nothing tonight. You're just pulling things out of your ass.
What do I do weekly?
Okay. Enjoy your beer.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
She's pissed. She is pissed. Oh, she's pissed. Here we go. All right. Next week, maybe I'll do that. Should I bring her on the stream next week? I have never. Oh, God, I don't even know if that's a good idea. I am honestly petrified to do that. I don't know if we should do that. Ooh, that could be, yeah. Yeah, she's not thrilled. She is not thrilled. All right. We'll have to do that, right? We'll have to have her on. Because she's something else. I'll tell you that much. She's something else. We'll bring her on the stream. Next week, I bring my wife on the stream. And we talk about how much all this stuff costs. Jesus. We talk about how much this costs and what she thinks of the show. All right, guys. Au revoir. We have a drink. Oh, I'm still here. I have been married now for nobody knows this. Little known fact about me. I got married when I was 18. We just turned 18. We got married. We've been married for 16 years. Been married for 16 years. So I am 35. Been married for 16 years. It's pretty crazy. So, yeah, she is at the door. Is right. So, all right, that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drone Brews. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I am going to go do the things that Adobo should do. And I appreciate every one of you sincerely. You guys are awesome. We will click the buttons and send this stream to oblivion in parts unknown. Anybody got anything else? Got anything else you want to add? Anything? My anniversary? I know my anniversary because it's the day my grandfather's birthday. So I know these things. This is a strong beer. This is so strong. This is good. Hang on a second. Un momento. So, all right. So just to recap before I sign off, if if you want to figure out how you can support the drone pilot in Nashville, Tennessee, that was arrested wrongfully, be sure you check out that Facebook group. Ryan's going to be posting information that you can use to help ping the DA. Like I said, there's going to be a waffle. I've never heard of this before, but there's a waffle for an AK Evo 2 that you can do some good and help possibly with their legal fees, because he's expected to have many. Be safe, fly smart, and what do we do? We're gonna... Shit, that's the wrong button. Damn it, I need to label these things. Fuck, I need to save the drone guy. Save face. Don't ever apologize. Rips ass banger on the dining room glass. I don't have dining room glass, John Suggs. I don't have dining room glass. I read that message though. All right, let's hit the button. There's no sound. All right.
But don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. React if you have to, yeah. Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah, one of a kind, yeah. What's on your mind, yeah. What hard to find, yeah. Beautiful mind, yeah. Still in my prime, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside. It's not insomnia, really. I'm not a zombie, a thriller. I'm moving calmly but iller, not playing party Attila. I ain't been partying either, but at the Garden of Eden, just drinking water and eating. It's probably not what you're thinking, but I hardly been thinking. I feel like hardening season. I know that's hard to believe in, and that's just part of the reason. I'm catching up to you because you wait and you sleeping. I feel like hardening season. I feel like hardening season. Yeah, too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I don't turn. There's some lessons I'ma learn. Usher said to let it burn, but my life isn't his concern. I don't toss and I don't turn. There's some lessons I'ma learn. Usher said to let it burn, but my life isn't his concern. I am not the one, and I am not your Neo. I am not a hero, and I am not a hero, and I am not your one. Yeah, and I'm not your Neo, and I am not a hero. Yeah, and I'm not a hero. Yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Yeah. For the people who been holding me down. 2 times for the people who been holding me down. That's 3 times for the people don't be knowing me now. I just move without a sound, and I just move without sound. And 1 time for the people who been holding me down. And 2 times for the people who been holding me down. And 3 times for the people I don't see them around. I just been moving around. I just been moving around. Yeah. Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to, yeah. Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah, one of a kind, yeah. What's on your mind, yeah. What hard to find, yeah. Beautiful mind, yeah. Still in my prime, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah. Not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, body a tiller. I ain't been partying either, been at the Garden of Eden, just drinking water and eating. It's probably not what you're thinking.